press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello dear students, welcome back to the class. In the last class, we were discussing about reflex action, reflex arc, the significance of reflex arc. Reflex actions are the very sudden and immediate involuntary responses, and the pathway of reflex action is what is referred to as reflex arc. Spinal cord is the one which completely controls these reflex actions. So what is the spinal cord? How shall we define spinal cord? Spinal cord is nothing but the extension of medulla oblongata of the brain. Medulla oblongata is the posterior part of the brain and it further extends as spinal cord. Spinal cord is a long cylindrical structure that passes through the vertebral column. So how could we define spinal cord? Spinal cord is a long cylindrical structure that passes through the vertebral column. Vertebral column is also referred to as our backbone. So this is all about spinal cord and it measures about 144 centimeter in human beings. Spinal cord is the one which completely controls reflex actions. So this is what we studied in the last class, and today we have a diagram, and using this diagram let's try to understand how reflex actions are carried out, what is the pathway and what are those components, the 5 major components involved in reflex arc, and what is the function of each of these components. In the last class we also studied the 5 major components of reflex arc. What are those major 5 components? The 5 components are, the first is the receptor, sensory neuron, association neuron or relay neuron, or it is also referred to as interneuron, followed by motor neuron, and finally effector. These are the 5 major components involved in reflex arc. Now with the help of a diagram, let's try to understand how these nerve impulses move. What happens in reflex actions? Here is an example of touching a hot object. When we touch a very hot object, immediately we take away our hands. Even without thinking about it for a moment, we immediately take away our hands to protect ourselves. Is it not? Touching a hot object will definitely cause pain, cause damage to our palms. So immediately what do? Take away our hands to protect ourselves. Let's understand what is the pathway. So here is an example of touching a hot object. Touching a hot object is a sensation received by our hands, that is skin. Here the receptors are the skin. The receptors present in the skin, they receive the signals. What type of signals? The signals of pain or heat. These are the signals received by the receptors in the skin. So receptors are the sense organs which receive the stimuli. Here is a stimulus, is it not? A hot object is a stimulus, the change in the external environment, and this stimulus is received by our sense organ, that is the receptor. So the receptors in the skin receive these stimuli. What type of stimuli? The stimuli of pain or heat is received, and finally these signals are transferred to the sensory neuron. So sensory neuron carry these impulses, carry these nerve impulses. The impulses carrying the information of pain or heat when a hot object is touched. So this is carried by sensory neuron. Sensory neuron carry these impulses to the spinal cord. These are carried to the spinal cord. Spinal cord, here we have another type of neuron, that is relay neuron. Relay neuron is also referred to as association neuron. The word association is self-descriptive. Association refers to something that associates, or this is also referred to as interneuron. Interneuron, the neuron that is present in between. Relay neuron or association neuron is present in between sensory neuron and motor neuron, and thus this helps both these neurons, that is sensory neuron and motor neuron, to communicate with each other. So this relay neuron receives impulses from the sensory neuron and it transmits these impulses to motor neuron. From relay neuron, these impulses, these nerve impulses carrying the information about the heat, the pain are carried to the motor neuron. Motor neuron, finally what it does? It sends these impulses, information to the effector. Effector is the one where the response, the effect is seen. The response is seen. So what are these effectors? These are the muscles. So muscles contracting will make us or will display these responses. So here receptors are the skins. Here in this case receptor is the skin. So receptors are the 5 sense organs. In this case skin is the receptor. It receives the stimuli. What stimuli? The stimuli of touching a hot object. The pain, the hotness is felt, is received, and it passes the information in the form of nerve impulses to sensory neuron. Sensory neuron receives this input. Sensory neuron acts like a receiving input. It receives input and it sends the signals to the spinal cord, wherein relay neuron will help sensory neuron and motor neuron to communicate with each other. So finally these signals are transferred to motor neuron. So these signals finally they are passed on to motor neuron, and the motor neuron, what it does? It has to show some response now. It has to show immediate response. So this acts like a transferring output to the effector. So these output signals are transferred to the effector. Effectors are the muscles. By the contraction of muscles the effect is seen. So effectors are the muscles. Here we touch hot object and finally we need to take back our hand. So muscles in the arm, they contract and finally the response is seen. The response is seen. How is response seen in this case? We take away our hands immediately, we take away our palm immediately. So this is all about the reflex action, the pathway involved when a very hot object is touched. Is this clear to you? So the 5 components and what do they do? And finally effect is seen in the muscles. This is reflex action and the pathway, the reflex arc. So hope this is clear to you. In our textbook, another question is asked related to this. Below figure 7.2, a question is asked. Using this, I hope you have understood this, it's very easy. And using this, they have asked a question. Can you now trace the sequence of events which occur when a bright light is focused on your eyes? So here the reflex action, the reflex arc is described with respect to touching a hot object. And using this in a similar way, now we need to trace out the sequence of events which occur when bright light is focused on our eyes. Could we do this? It's very easy and very simple. Instead of hot object, what you can take here, the stimuli here is bright light, focusing a bright light is the stimulus. So receptors are skin in this case, whereas in this case, when a bright light is focused, our eyes act as receptors. Our eyes are the receptors, they receive the stimuli. And apart from that, everything else remains same. The sensory neuron, the message is passed on to sensory neuron and it goes to the relay neuron, motor neuron, and finally effectors. Effect is seen where? Effect is seen in the muscles of the eyes. What do? We immediately shut our eyes. We blink our eyes multiple times. Is it not? So that is where effect is seen. So with these small changes, hope you could draw this. You could write the sequence of events. So I'll again try to explain this. Hope this diagram is clear to you. So instead of writing a hot object here, what do? You write bright light, or focusing a bright light. Receptors and skin, and instead of skin, receptors and eyes. So photoreceptors, eyes receive this light. So photoreceptors are received by eyes. So finally input, sensory neuron receives these signals Signals indicating a very bright light is focused on the eyes. So photoreceptors, the sensation of bright light being focused on eyes, this information is carried as input to the sensory neuron, and sensory neurons carry these impulses, carry the impulses containing the information. The nerve impulses therefore are carried to the relay neuron, to the spinal cord or CNS, central nervous system. From spinal cord, from relay neuron, the information is transmitted to motor neurons. So motor neurons now act as providing the output. It contains information and it has to make muscles to act. So this information is contained in motor neuron. Motor neuron finally allows effectors to take action. Here effector is the muscles in the eyes. So what is the effect seen here in this case? The effect seen is in terms of blinking our eyes multiple times or shutting our eyes is the effect seen, the response seen. Could you write the sequence of events now? Okay, try it. Hope the diagram is clear to you and the concept is clear to you. This is all about the spinal cord, the reflex action and reflex arc. We also got to know why reflex actions are very important. So the flow diagram for the question asked could be like this. Photoreceptors in eyes. Photoreceptors, what do they do? They sense and receive stimuli. These eyes, they receive stimuli, stimulus. What happens? The information is passed on to sensory neuron. From sensory neuron to spinal cord or relay neuron. You can write spinal cord or you can also write relay neuron here. Relay neuron. And from relay neuron, the information is passed on to the motor neuron. Is it not? Passed on to motor neuron. So now motor neuron will have to make the muscles in the eye, effectors. What are effectors here? Effectors are the muscles in the eyes. They have to make the muscles in the eyes to blink. So effect, how is effect seen? The effect is seen as blinking eyes or shutting our eyes. If the light is very bright, we also shut our eyes or close our eyes. So this is how the response is seen. This is the response seen. Photoreceptors in eyes, sensory neuron, spinal cord or relay neuron, motor neuron, finally effectors are the muscles in the eyes. You can also put the same in words. You can also write few lines about this, describing this. Hope this is clear to you. And now we'll take a note on these 5 components. I am going to write few lines on 5 components involved, the major 5 components involved in reflex arc. I think you can try out the sequences related to other sense organs too. So when you hear a very loud noise of more than 50-60 decibels, what do? You can add the same sequences. Only thing is the receptors keep changing and the effectors also keep changing. The response is changed and the stimulus is changed. Otherwise, everything else remains the same. You can try out many such sequences. So now it's time to write a description on this 5 distinct components or 5 distinct parts of reflex action. The first is receptor. So receptors receive stimuli. They receive stimuli. So they are usually, these receptors are the 5 sense organs. Next, sensory neuron. Or this is also referred to as afferent neuron. A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. Afferent neuron or input neuron. Or input is received, something like, we can say something like that. Sensory neuron, afferent neuron, it conducts the stimulus, the particular stimulus, the stimulus impulse from the receptor to spinal cord. From receptor to the spinal cord. And the third important component is association neuron. Association neuron or relay neuron or interneuron. This is also referred to as relay neuron or interneuron. INTER, interneuron. It acts as a connecting link between sensory neuron and motor neuron. This transmits impulse from the sensory neuron to motor neuron. From sensory neuron to motor neuron. Or it allows sensory neuron and motor neuron to communicate with each other. And next is the motor neuron. What it does, this is also referred to as efferent neuron. E-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. Efferent neuron. It conducts the impulse related to the response, particular response or response stimulus. Conducts response impulse. The sensory neuron conducts stimulus impulse, whereas the motor neuron is output, something related to output, so it has to conduct response impulse. Response impulse from spinal cord or from relay neuron. From spinal cord to effector or to the muscles, to effectors. Finally, effectors. What are these effectors? These are the ones which show sudden response. Effectors exhibit or show sudden response. Effectors exhibit the sudden response. So these are the 5 distinct parts or components. Receptors receiving stimulus, sensory neuron conducting stimulus impulse. The stimulus impulse that it has received, it conducts to the from receptors to the spinal cord. Association neuron, finally motor neuron, it conducts response impulse. The response, what response it has to give, that it carries, and finally effectors show the response. Hope this is clear to you. So far we have been talking about reflex actions, reflex arc, and all about spinal cord. What do you think the function of spinal cord is? Obviously, reflex action is its major function, but is reflex action the only function performed by spinal cord? Or for you to answer this question, I need to pose another question. In a day, how do you respond? Do we always respond reflexively? Do we always, every time do we respond reflexively? No, not at all. Only during certain situations we respond reflexively. Most of the time in a day, we think and respond. We decide what to respond, we decide what to speak, we decide what to do. We think and then we respond, is it not? So not every action, not every response is a reflex action. There are certain responses which are very conscious, which we decide voluntarily, is it not? So there are voluntary responses, involuntary responses, and reflexive responses. Thinking is also the task performed by spinal cord. So not only reflex action, of course reflex action is completely under the control of spinal cord, but along with that, spinal cord is also involved in the process of thinking. Animals, especially human beings, are thinking beings, is it not? So thinking is a tremendous capacity which human beings have. Thinking is a very complex mechanism and it involves many neural connections. Spinal cord, of course, is also involved in this process. Spinal cord has got nerves that facilitate thinking, but spinal cord alone cannot be involved in the process of thinking. For precise thinking, there is another very important master in our body, that is the brain. Brain is the main coordinating part of our body. Main coordinating mechanism is found in brain. Thinking is a very complex process. Very complex processes are involved in thinking, and it involves several neural connections. And centers for these are located in brain, hence brain is referred to as the master. So what do you think these thinking processes are? We already got to know that in a day we don't always act reflexively. There are situations where we need to analyze things. In a given situation, whenever there is a stimulus, whenever there are changes in the environment, first we try to understand what is the environment, what changes have been caused. We try to understand the environment, we try to analyze the situation, and then we decide, we think over it, we decide, and finally we decide as to how to react to the situation. We don't compulsively or we don't reflexively act at every situation. We think, we make decisions, and then finally we react to the particular situation. So thinking involves a very complicated mechanism, and very interesting mechanisms are involved in thinking. So voluntary activities, voluntary responses like moving a chair, lifting an object, or riding a bicycle, or writing your notes, completing your assignments, attending a function. So all these things are not compulsive, they are not reflexive in nature. You decide when to write, what to write, when to submit, or whether to attend a function or not, what dress to wear. and should I lift this chair or not. So all these things you decide based on the situations, you decide and you don't reflexively act. So these are the voluntary, and there are some other involuntary movements also. We have a tremendous power of imaginations and decision making, memorizations. We memorize or we remember people, we remember events that once happened, and we also have got analytical thinking. We make decisions, we have the capacity of making decisions, we have tremendous intelligence, emotions, thoughts, all these things we experience in our day-to-day life. And the one responsible for all these things is the brain, the master. So brain has got several centers for intelligence, for memory, for emotions, for decision making, analytical thinking, logical reasoning, decisions, for all these things, brain has got centers. So brain has got several other parts, and each part is involved in particular task. Some parts of the brain are involved in voluntary actions, some part of brain is involved in involuntary actions. Respiration, heartbeat, blood pressure, all these things are not under our control. They are involuntary in nature and are very much needed involuntarily. So brain has got centers for all these things also. So next we'll move on to another topic. We'll understand how brain is made up of, what are the components in the brain, how is it structured, and also functions of brain. So before that, I would like to give a flow chart with respect to nervous system. In previous classes, I discussed nervous system. There are three major types of nervous system, and the central nervous system is the one which is very, very important, and it entails spinal cord and brain. Spinal cord is protected by our backbone or vertebral column, whereas brain is protected by cranium. So quickly I'll write a flow chart, a very simple and interesting flow chart, and after that we'll discuss something about brain. Here is a flow chart. Nervous system. The first being central nervous system. Central nervous system. And second one is peripheral. Peripheral nervous system, and the third is autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. And a central nervous system, or CNS, consists of brain and spinal cord. It consists of spinal cord and brain. So spinal cord is protected by backbone or vertebral column, whereas brain is protected by cranium. And now the flow chart also helps us in understanding the parts of brain. Brain has got three major parts. One is the forebrain, F-O-R-E, forebrain, the midbrain, and hindbrain. The hindbrain. brain has got two important components, cerebrum and diencephalon. Diencephalon, whereas hindbrain has got, is this visible to you? Hindbrain has got cerebellum, 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 pons, 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 and finally medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata, pons, 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 and medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata. With this flowchart, I am going to wind up today's class, and I will meet you in the next class. Thank you.